Make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Raise your hand if it matters a lot to you. Raise your hand. So every hand of 7,000 people.
Everybody cares.
This is crazy. Dude, you see how they're splitting? This is a noticeable split. Now, I am separating from the 𝗙𝗙𝗃𝗍 school. I don't believe any of these guys are coming to join us, but the split is happening. They're not coming with us. 𝗙𝗙𝗃𝗍 can have them, right? He can have them as part of his whatever, his rebellion party. But the split is definitely happening. It's Trump's fault. Okay, this is all about Trump. This is absolutely 100% Donald Trump. Now, Pam Bondi, they're going to look for somebody to like blame. And it's going to be interesting, though, to see what the move is here, because Pam Bondi is South Florida. Okay, she is the sort of mafioso vibes of Donald Trump's area where he lives. I don't see him throwing Pam Bondi under the bus. She is loyal to Trump, and she's been loyal to Trump. Like, she knows where the bodies are buried and has for years. So I don't know how this is going to play out, because I feel like Dan Bongino is the weak link. Back in May, right? I said, here, dude, Bongino isn't going to make it a full term. He's going to crack. You can see it happening already. Couldn't happen to a bigger loser. So that was my prediction, that Dan Bongino was going to be the first guy getting off Epstein Island. You know, because he doesn't work. I mean, the guy's a fucking podcaster, bro. He like literally wakes up and sits on Twitter and then goes into his home studio. I mean, going to the office every day and the pressure of an agency and having to answer to the media and all this shit. Dude, he's way out of his wheelhouse, okay? I don't think he's good at the job, and I don't think he likes the job at all. So I don't think that Bongino was ever really well suited to the job. I heard there was an explosive argument. Dude, you want to see? Can I show you something? Because Dan Bongino was the first Maga influencer to block me. This was years ago, before I even got famous in Fortnite. It was 2018. He posted something that he later deleted, and I said, Dan Bongino should go back to something he's good at, touching his wiener. And that got me blocked, right? Back in 2018, bro. That was it. Oh, shit, dude. He was the first in a long line. Dude, right here, though, look at this. I said, we might see Bongino end up on a rooftop somewhere with a rifle before this thing is through. Look at him, dude. Look at him, bro. This guy, this guy's not a brain trust to begin with. Dan Bongino, dude, he does look like a jumper, doesn't he? That's a great, great word for it. And this was my thing right here when he said Bongino crying about how hard his life is. And I'm like, dude, he's not going to make it full term. There's no way. So there's the war, okay? There is the war. So he took a leave of absence after a dispute with Pam Bondi. And it is, yeah, you're right. It is fucking amateur hour. Because again, guys, none of these people got put in these jobs because of their capability at doing the job. There you go. That's the rub. There's no such thing as meritocracy in Trump world. None of these people got this job because they're good. Pam Bondi didn't get it because she's a good lawyer, a good prosecutor. Dan Bongino didn't get it because he's a good in law enforcement. 𝗙ście Patel isn't good at shit. They got it because of sheer loyalty to Trump. That's it. All you had to do was be able to, if they can put a bag over your head and you'll take the ass kicking, you're hired. That's it. End of story. No talent required. And this is what's so funny is these guys running around talking about meritocracy when you see somebody like Charlie Kirk, double tugging, and he's talking about meritocracy. And it's like, Charlie, shut the fuck up, bro. There is no meritocracy. None of these people have merit.
It's starting to create a real hornet's nest within the administration. And I've got to be honest, I blame Pam Bondi. I'll tell you why, okay?
Because she's a woman.
Yes, incompetence, yes. I have nothing against Pam Bondi as a human being. I was fine with her nomination and her confirmation, and she's been loyal to the president, and I get that President Trump needs a loyal attorney general. Look what happened with Sessions the first time. He went away, and then the next thing you know, we had the Mueller investigation, and it was a nightmare. But there are a lot of other people who can be loyal and competent in that job. Here, she is the reason that things are unraveling around this story right now that virtually all of the Republican Party cares deeply about. It's also true that Dan Bongino and 𝗙cie𝗶𝗹𝗀𝗀 had questions about Epstein before they took office, okay, before they went into the FBI. But once they joined the FBI, they said nothing. They've kept their mouths shut about Epstein. You have not seen them, except for one joint appearance with Dan and Cash on Fox, running all over the media looking for attention on this, yes, clickbaity story. Who have you seen? Pam Bondi. She has never missed an opportunity to go on television and dangle sweet nothings that might be coming your way. Try to lead you to believe that she's got it, it's on her desk, it's coming tomorrow, you're gonna see something on Epstein. And it was a tease. So you either believe that Pam Bondi was telling the truth then, or that she's telling the truth now, but both cannot be true. She was either lying when she went on Fox News all those times saying, I've got it, we're looking at it, wait until you see it, it's horrible.
Dude, it's so funny watching the cognitive dissonance of these people because, you know, they like to talk about the deep state, the conspiracy, you know, it's the man behind the curtain, but you realize now Trump has gutted all these agencies. There's no more deep state. Have you noticed they don't have their usual reliable deep state? So now that there's no deep state, they've gutted all the agencies and everybody is a Trump loyalist. Now they're just going to eat each other because they literally don't have anyone else to blame. So now it's going to be blaming Pam Bondi and then they'll blame the next person and they're just going to go on down the line because they have like somehow backed themselves into a corner where eventually they're going to realize like, oh shit, we just can't blame this on the Democratic deep state, George Soros, fucking whatever anymore. They're just falling apart. Now what's funny is not only is this one not going to go away, but this one is going to be this is like the first domino, really. Right now, we're still a little bit coasting on the strength of the Joe Biden economy that Trump was given. But they've been racking up all these tariff charges. And so eventually the prices of those goods are going to get jacked up to make up for the tariffs that all these retailers bought. And there's no trade deals coming in. There's like 2 trade deals. Nobody's buying our shit. You know, there's going to be a record low travel here. Certainly nobody's vacationing in America. We're like the last place to vacation anymore. You know, 2 years from now, you're going to be able to come to America for like $50, bro. Companies were like, were bracing for this, hoping the chaos would go away. So it's getting worse. This is like probably the best and most stable we are going to see the Trump admin. From here on out, it is going to be breaking time. We just hit the breaking point. Now we're going downhill, bro. You know, grab your jackets. It's going to get windy.
Okay, so what they're saying now is consistent with what they've said since they joined the office, and that is one of the many reasons why this scandal is squarely on her. And I'm telling you, I'm of the cable news universe. I've seen it happen a million times. People get thirsty. They love to see themselves on television. They love to see their names in the Klieg lights. They love the attention. They love the little emails and texts and tweets and thumbs up they get after their appearance, and they can feel their star rising. And listen, internally, I'm told there's a bit of like a power struggle between Pam Bondi and another female administration official on who's going to be the top dog.
Yeah, you think it's Susie, right? You think it's Susie Wiles? It's got to be Susie Wiles. Okay, there's who else is really high up? I mean, Caroline Leavitt is just a talking head. She's not really in the inner circle. right? So, but that tells you a lot about Pam Bondi. She might be Trump's deepest, you know, she might be his like biggest garden tool, you know, I don't know. It feels like she's like the Palm Beach Club. You know, everybody else is kind of, you know, internet influencers or something.
But there are some women who've got their eye on that role too. And I've been
maybe
told
one of
she's
them speaking at this event.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
I'm too happy a person.
No, I know. I was talking about someone tomorrow.
Dude, yeah, Megyn is really upset, isn't she, that she didn't get a cabinet position, isn't she? Megyn's like, she's literally like, oh my God, I sucked Trump's wrinkly ass dick for years. I've kissed the ring, I've polished the knob, and I just can't, I didn't even get an ambassadorship. Dude, even Kim Guilfoyle got a bigger position, right? The disgraced girlfriend of John Jr., who got cheated on, got an ambassadorship, right? And Megyn got nothing, dude, nothing. Trump doesn't even go on her show. Dude, it's like she is so bitter.
You're calling for Pam Bondi to resign or to go, but can you please tell people the breaking news? According to reports that you have verified, 𝗙ście𝗶𝗏𝗯 and Dan Bongino will resign if what does not happen?
If she doesn't go.
So
I only have it on Bongino.
It's all over X though.
No, I know, but let me just tell you what my reporting is. Bongino, it's Bongino or Bondi. He's not
Who
saying.
would you guys prefer, Bongino or Bonnie? Okay, 7,000 to 0.
They want.
Yeah, see, I think if it's between Bongino and Bondi, I think Bongino's going back to the fucking Rumble. Right? Unless something crazy happens, I don't see a world where Trump gets rid of Pam Bondi, one of his like homegrowns. You know what I mean?
You know why? Because Dan understands Maga. Dan's part of the Maga movement. Dan's been an important piece of it and a mouthpiece for like really important ideas and an advocate and a fierce warrior. He's been in the trenches. I mean, with all due respect to Pam Bondi, she's been in Florida. She represented the president. It's nice, but do you think she really gets Maga? I don't think so. She wouldn't have behaved this way if she did. And now it's a time for choosing. It's a time for choosing. We're about to lose Dan for sure, and maybe Cash too, if she doesn't go. Now she's got...
Dude, oh, this is rich. Oh, Lord. I know. I love it. It is exciting because this is like the first real scandal, the first of many. You know that this is gonna kick it open. So Pam Bondi is protecting Trump, and Bongino and 𝗙ście𝗶𝗏𝗯 are now threatening to leave. This is real interesting because, again, like I said, I feel like Trump's biggest family connect is with Bondi. But everybody's calling for Bondi's resignation because she's a woman, guys. Right? I mean, Ghislaine Maxwell's in prison. Hello? They always want the woman first. The chum is going to fall around the woman, and they're going to, the woman, it's got to be the woman's fault, right? It's true. I mean, I think if she was a male AG, they might be calling for the FBI people.
Turmoil atop the FBI. Two sources familiar with the matter telling NBC News that Deputy Director of the FBI, Dan Bongino, may be leaving his job after a heated confrontation with Attorney General Pam Bondi over his frustration with how the Justice Department has handled the Jeffrey Epstein files. As we reported earlier, Bongino did not come to work today after a heated argument with Pam Bondi Wednesday. Vaughn, let me read from what you and our colleague Ken Delanian are reporting. Bongino did not report to work today amid speculation about his whereabouts, the sources said. It came after a heated confrontation Wednesday at a meeting with Pam Bondi and White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, during which Bongino and FBI Director 𝗙ście𝗶𝗏𝗯 were asked about a news story suggesting they were dissatisfied with the decision not to release any additional Epstein files, the sources said.
Oh, shit. You hear that? So do you hear what's going on here? What Nicole Wallace just said was that it was Pam Bondi and 𝗙𝗍𝗍 𝗏𝗡 who brought these guys in saying, you need to shut the fuck up or you need to bounce. Everyone's calling for Pam Bondi, but it sounds like they're saying like, yo, you two need to shut the fuck up and just bury the Epstein thing. Dude, I think they're taking some heat from the women, bro. That's amazing.
Director 𝗙់Patel were asked about a news story suggesting they were dissatisfied with the decision not to release any additional Epstein files, the sources said. The meeting was first reported by Axios. Take me inside what the suspicion is that Patel and Bongino leaked. I mean, the irony of the polygraph story we started our broadcast with, and you're reporting just now, is that Bondi and 𝗏𝗡 seem frustrated that Bongino and Patel have gone public with their discontent.
And I think in large part it's because of the pressure that 𝗙់Patel and Dan Bongino have placed upon themselves, Nicole. We have covered the litany of promises that those two men, upon taking their FBI posts, had made to the American population, that they were going to investigate and reveal everything about Jeffrey Epstein, about the January 6th committee and its investigation. They were
See, this is really interesting because they were both like huge conspiracy theorist guys. Both Bongino and 𝗙់Patel for years have been the leading, they have been like the Reddit of conspiracy theories. So then Trump puts them in charge of this shit, but like Pam Bondi is, gonna squash the Epstein shit, and these guys are like, whoa, we gotta fucking get to the bottom of Epstein. And it's so funny because you hear like Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk talking about it, but then you hear inside sources and it's like, now I definitely think Bongino's gonna go, right? And I think 𝗙់Patel probably isn't gonna go because he has more power than he'd ever have on the outside, and he doesn't have this like Rumble show to go back to. So I bet 𝗙് Patel stays. But it's going to be real interesting because now, it seems more like it's going to be 𝗙𝗍𝗍 and Pam Bondi that tell these guys to like play ball or get fucking packing, right? And like Megyn Kelly and Charlie Kirk, they have no idea what's going on. Dude, if you were assembling a tinfoil hat brigade, dude, 𝗙് and Bongino, absolutely. Dude, they'd be there with like same rowboat as RFK, right?
To investigate and reveal who the pipe bomber was. They were going to investigate the 2020 election, and yet we're 7 months in now, and they have come up with effectively nothing on those fronts here. And that is where I am told, along with our colleague Ken Delanian and Monica Alba, that these two men were frustrated by the feeling that they have been stifled by Attorney General Pam Bondi. Now, to the extent that that is reality, and to the extent that the Attorney General is acting as a shield or actually putting some parameters around their work and their investigations and the basis into them, I think that is the question that each of us are going to have in our reporting here in the days ahead. But these two men, I'm told that Dan Bongino is considering resigning from his post. 𝗙് Patel has not gone as far as to suggest that, but will be looking, I'm told, at how Dan Bongino responds to this. I'm told that both men meet with the Attorney General on a daily basis, and that they have not kept their displeasures hidden from her. I know that Pam Bondi was at the White House 1 week ago. They have continued, the White House, to stand behind her as the Attorney General.
That's just it. Even with all of Megyn Kelly shit, I just can't imagine Trump cutting Pam Bondi loose. She is like Italian mob family sort of situation. Bongino's just a fucking podcaster who got a position, the deputy assistant, whatever, head of the FBI. It's like a fucking non-existent position. And he just got that because he was a loyal MAGA mouthpiece, right? It's like an ambassador to the FBI, bro. I mean, what does he even do, dude? I feel like Pam Bondi will be there in the end, right? On Trump's deathbed, it's going to be like Ivanka and Pam Bondi. And, right? That's who's going to be there. She'll be like, don't worry. Everybody is still buried. Nobody's going to find out about Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, dude. Assistant to the regional manager. Yes.
Some point in time, though, this is going to come to a head, and it may be here in real time, Nicole.
I mean, Vaughn, let me just sift through some of this. I mean, they put pressure on themselves. What do you mean? I mean, these things are not facts. What kind of pressure do they put on themselves? What do you mean?
Dan Bongino, right? And he could leave this job and go back to a podcast that undoubtedly made him a lot of money. He had millions of people that would tune in, hundreds of thousands.
Dude, look at him. Dude, I find Dan Bongino to be one of the most like unqualified and offensive looking human beings out there. He is, dude. He's really, other than touching his wiener, I don't know another thing the man is good at.
Which episode you're watching. And for him, dating back to 2022, 2023, you go back to the archives, and he became popular in large part, especially 𝗙ście𝗶𝗏𝗀 as well. They made money off of these conspiracy theories and saying that they needed to get Donald Trump back into office. And they kept this idea that if they were in the position of the FBI, they would dismantle it, they would reform it, they'd get the corruption out of the FBI, they'd get the longtime prosecutors out of there. You've had these very conversations, and to a large extent, they have upheld the promise of getting rid of top officials that have worked inside of the agency. But when it comes to proving the things that they made money off of for a number of years now, the things that not only they made money off of, but ultimately put them in the position of power, now is the time to serve up the evidence. And so far, they haven't been able to do that.
I mean, Bongino didn't make enough money to buy T-shirts that fit. Vaughn, what is the, I mean, so Bongino feels like there's more, and he wants more of the Epstein files released. I mean, that seems like an absolutely catastrophic outcome. I never thought I'd say this, but Donald Trump better hope that Dan Bongino doesn't leave and go back to his podcast where he made millions of dollars attacking the FBI, because his base is about to absolutely spill over, and whatever toxic brew is inside there is about to come spilling out if he leaves of the Epstein files. I mean, what is the degree of alarm from the folks that'll be left holding the bag?
Okay, I think that's the part, Nicole, that I think that folks need to understand here is that they have gotten severe pushback from MAGA world and their base for not providing everything on Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, see, this is the problem of their deep state conspiracy theories, right? Those guys pushed so many conspiracy theories for so long about so much deep state shit. They finally got into the FBI, but none of that shit is like true, really. A lot of it, the J6 stuff, all this crazy shit. So of course they're gonna come up empty-handed. But the Epstein one is gnarly because it is directly tied to Trump. So again, I think Bongino is going, and I think that there's a strong possibility that he gets paid off to make nice, to avoid being a detonator. I bet they pay him. I bet I'm sure the guy has a price, dude. You know, maybe they'll his ex-wife or something for him. I don't know. They're going to do something for him, right? I feel like they're not going to let him go and just become an anti-Trump mouthpiece. I don't envision that happening. See, MAGA is convinced that Donald Trump is not in those files. But they believe that those files are like every big actor in Hollywood, everybody who's Donald Trump's enemy, a whole bunch of Democratic political figures, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like basically everybody who's out to get Trump, they believe is in that Epstein shit, right? The George Clooney's, Robert De Niro, fucking all of Hollywood. Right? You know what I'm saying? Jimmy Kimmel, right? Remember when they were tossing Jimmy Kimmel? Now we know Bill Gates is involved. We know he's involved. Melinda Gates has implicated that. She's actually done those interviews saying, this is why I left him, and you should ask Bill about his involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. So we know Bill Gates is in there. We know Bill Clinton is in there. And we know Donald Trump is in there. And there most certainly are other like large scale figures, but there's certainly a bunch of people that are involved that weren't having sex as well, right? Is Biden in there? No. Dude, I don't think Joe Biden's been able to like get it up for about 30 fucking years, bro. But there have been so many, like the amount of conspiracy theories here are wild. I mean, this shit goes back to that 𝗙𝗪𝗏𝗡𝗆 Pizzagate. I mean, the conspiracy theorist weirdos that sort of became the MAGA movement have been feeding on this trough of like government pedophile Hollywood conspiracy theory thing for like 10 years. I mean, you heard Megyn Kelly, right? Where she said it offhand. Well, you know, the pedophiles outside of Hollywood, right? I mean, this has been just a thing that they've used to sort of like other the Democrats for a long time, right? So, yeah, this is a big thing because a lot of MAGA, they're all Christians. And let's face it, sexual abuse is like, it's a Christian problem, a huge Christian problem. It's in every church. It's in every Catholic parish. It is in, you know, a lot of these families, these well-to-do families, Christians. It's a huge problem in religion. They're so sexually repressed that this shit is just rampant. Dude, yeah, that shit is wild. So there we go. We're getting a much richer picture of this. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.